Go. We're back here on the Hunter Call of the Wild, and today we are going to be doing drink zones, and you are set up and ready to do the grind. Now the fun part is about to begin. So what I would do is change the time to about 8:30. Now I know that only leaves about an hour and a half of drink time left, but you're gonna find red deer in their zones when you change the time to later in the drink time, and you shouldn't get any rain when you change the time to 8:30. So then you want to start rotating on every single zone, all 16 of them at the same time. You're not gonna go to just your exteriors or just your main shooting lakes. You're going to rotate on all of the 16 setup zones, and you are going to shoot the biggest deer that you can find, with the exception of diamonds. Now this is the herd management way to do the grind. If you would like to do the grind and not use herd management, you can just go from zone to zone and shoot the biggest males that you find, but I would still try to avoid shooting small deer, because I really don't think shooting small deer is going to help you to spawn a great one. So if you are set up on a zone that has nothing but tiny stuff, I would actually, even if you're not using herd management, I would recommend pulling your tent and tripod and setting up on another zone with bigger deer. But if you're doing it the non-herd management way, just go ahead and shoot males over and using any additional tents. One tent per zone when you're setting up. So that is absolutely perfect. So once you have discovered all of your drink small stuff out of main shooting lakes, if there is nothing bigger. But when you get to exterior lakes, you never want to shoot something small. So say you came to an exterior zone and this is what you found. You have a level 4 and a bunch of does, and that's it. Then there's nothing to shoot there. So then pull up your tent and tripod and set up on a different drinking zone with bigger deer. So you're continually going to be moving those setups until all of your exterior zones have small deer in them. That is considered to be shot down. We call that a shot down zone. And the process of getting your exterior zone shot down actually happens fairly quickly. Now, once you have all of your exterior zones shot down, what you want to do then is pull up your tents and tripods and move those tents to be pickup tents for your main shooting lakes. So then your grind is going to be super efficient. So by the time you have all of your exteriors shot down, then you want to move those tents to be pickup tents, and then you will have a super efficient grind. And once all of your exterior zones are shot down, that is when you can start shooting these stacked diamonds, because you don't need them anymore. They've done what they needed to do. At that point, you should start spawning diamonds very frequently. You will be getting nice big respawns, and there's no need to go to any zone on the map except for your 8 main shooting lakes. Now, as far as counting your kills, the game does not count kills. It only calculates total harvests. So I use an app through my stream down. You kills, that's okay. Talk about herd management. This zone right here, we have 3 males and no females. These are all solo zones. They will each have their individual need zone indicator, and basically they're sharing one drink zone. So if you were to shoot one of them, it would not respawn. You would come back and you will then have 2 males here, and this guy will either join another zone as a solo, or you will have another completely individual zone show up on your map as a solo, and it will probably be a big one because it's going to be a respawn from a level 7. So what you want to do is don't even worry about the solos until you are fairly far into your grind. Once you have the most amount of diamonds stacked that you possibly can, then it is time to deal with the solo zones. Now, the reason you want to do this once you have a bunch of diamonds stacked is having all that trophy rating on the map is going to help you to get a much smaller respawn. So you want to shoot your solo and you want it to respawn into a solo zone being much smaller. You want to get that big guy into a herd zone. So once you have your diamonds stacked, then on a fresh game startup, meaning you haven't shot anything in the game yet, leave the map and come back. That is a fresh game startup. Then go and shoot one solo. Now, don't shoot anything out of a solo zone unless it is a 6 or higher. I'm not going to bother with the 5s. They can be very hard to deal with, so I'm only going to be worrying. This guy is going to stay here forever. I'm not going to worry about him, but I will worry about the 6 and the 7. So I just shoot one at a time. Then what I would do is go to a main shooting lake and try and find the smallest red deer that you can and shoot it, because they could swap. There's a 50-50 chance that they will swap zones, and we are stacking diamonds because if you just get a respawn and they don't stack, you want it to be a small respawn. So once you have done that, harvest both of those animals, leave the map, and come back. Then go and find another solo and keep doing that that until you have shot all of your big solos. Then, after you have done that process for each solo, leave the map, come back in, and go and re-find all of your solo zones. And if you do have big ones again, you're gonna have to repeat the process until you have small solos. But basically, that is how solo zones work. So far, I have spawned 6 red deer great ones. I have not done the red deer grind in a year and a half, so I am excited to do it again. But I can tell you, unless something has changed, that there is definitely a signal when your great one is about to spawn. Every single time, right before my great one spawned, I spawned an insane amount of mythicals. Now, I'm not talking like one in each zone. I'm talking like 5, 6, 7 mythicals in many zones on the map. Not every zone, but a lot of them. And when that happened, I would get to the point where I would say, I think a great one's gonna spawn, and then it did. Like, the map was literally screaming to me that a great one was gonna spawn. So if you do get that crazy influx of mythicals, you might just have a great one about
I want you. I need you. I want to suck you. You're my 3 a.m. craving. I can't stop thinking about devouring you. So let's do this the easy way or hard way.
No!
Babe, I'm wetter than a slip and slide at a kid's birthday party. Wait, did you just say no to me?
Yep.
That's funny. You're acting real bold for someone whose legs shook like a baby deer last time I saw you.
Yesterday you It had full velvet antlers in January, which is obviously odd when a lot of bucks are shedding, and they've certainly been in hard antler for several months. Early fall, we started picking up several videos of this deer, and it was in velvet. Velvet into October is very striking, especially for here in the Ozark Mountains. And another thing that was odd about this deer, it was usually with groups of does. It was never with bucks. We started paying more attention to this deer and noticed its body characteristics were more similar to a doe, very similar, not developed shoulders. Antlers were really tight. That's not that odd, but to be covered in velvet that long is very odd. When we see deer that have velvet antlers like this deer did and holds it this long, we tend to think that's an antlered doe. December 3rd, we got another video of this buck, hard antlered again, with some does, but he's leading the pack. He's not following does like you might think that time of year. It had full velvet antlers in January, which is obviously odd when a lot of bucks are shedding, and they've certainly been in hard antler for several months. Early fall, we started picking up several videos of this deer, and it was in velvet. Velvet into October is
Starter.
Det er bare en lille bitte ris. Jeg tror ikke, forsikringen dækker. Jeg giver dem lige lidt ekstra. Sådan der.
Tillid er, at du kan nøjes med at give dit nummer.
Så er den bule forsikret.
Tilliden er gensidig.
The person I've become over the last year. You're here to watch me make a bunch of money in Skyblock, you greedy viewer. And good thing too, because I have just the thing for you. In my last video, yes, the one I made over a year ago, I set up a bunch of slime minions, and those slime minions have collected 27 million coins each. As they say, that's a pretty penny. But what if I told you there was more? What if I told you I logged onto Skyblock a couple months ago, right in the middle of Mayor Derpy, and I pulled several billion coins out of these minions? Don't believe me? Well, here's the video. Please, guys, I had to log on over Christmas. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you just stopped? You stopped playing Hypixel Skyblock, you went outside, and you touched grass. Hi, my name is Cebu527, and I am a recovering Hypixel Skyblock addict. Now listen, being a Minecraft YouTuber has had serious social ramifications. In fact, if you look at my /playtime, which I'm in the wrong lobby for, it's over 2,000 hours, just trust me. In Hypixel Skyblock, there's a thing called minions, and as you all know, they produce resources while you are AFK. In other words, away from your keyboard and touching grass, which I wish I could do. According to the Potato King, the mayor of Hypixel Skyblock, if you will, the one to defeat Dante. I know that was a long time ago. I have achieved the dream of all Skyblock players, which is to not have to play anymore. I just copied his joke word for word, and that means that I've technically beaten the game, so I don't actually have to play anymore. But I got a YouTube video to make. You may be wondering, why now? Why have you chosen now of all times to make your dramatic return to Skyblock? Well, there's a certain mayor in office, his name is Derpy, I'm sure you've all heard of him, and he has a perk called Turbo Minions. Minions have double the output. Now, I'm no genius, but I think that means if I log onto my island right now, which I just did, my minions will have double the output. While I doubt slime minions are still the best, they do make a lot of money, and I have been AFK for a long time. I don't know when I last claimed these minions. Let's see how much money they have. Alright, Cebu, you gotta prepare yourself. This is a live reaction. I know you haven't done this for a while. There's gonna be a lot of coins. You need to pretend to be surprised. Okay, right click. Obviously it's full. How many coins? 75 million coins? Wait. For one minion? For one minion? 75 million? Wait, we have to do some math. Okay, I have 75 million coins in each minion. 29 minion slots. Whoa. Impressive, right? That was a lot of money. Now, funny thing, I don't remember where I put that money, because if we go over to the banker, I have 1 coin in the bank. That seems a little low. I don't understand. How can you just misplace billions of coins? That's worth something. Probably put it in the bazaar. Oh my god. Before we do anything fancy, I think we should just collect all these minions. Each one has 27.3 million coins in drops, or I guess these aren't drops. I don't even know how this works. What is a corrupted fragment?